Hello and welcome to our YouTube channel Nonfiction Summary. Enjoy the video and don't forget to leave a like and tell us your opinion about the topic in the comments section. Success shouldn't be reserved for a small group of people. You might mistakenly believe that there is a great distance between you and the titans of industry, such as the steel baron Andrew Carnegie, or the inventor of the automobile Henry Ford. These were not men who had the benefits of riches or ties to the family from birth. They moved from having virtually little to achieving achievements that few others had even dared to imagine. Have you ever been in a room with someone and sensed that they weren't thinking the same way you were? You just comprehend that your personalities will contrast like oil and water without having to speak to this person, is that right? Your mind can detect negative vibrations in the same way that it can detect positive ones. Now, when you have a group of individuals with the correct mindsets and personalities, you can unite as a mastermind to produce incredibly wonderful things that would normally be beyond the capabilities of an ordinary person. These men, including Carnegie, Wrigley, and Ford, weren't the only ones who made their riches. Each person made a point of socializing with and supporting his classmates. But keep in mind that only in-tune personalities and goals may produce masterminds. Nothing will rapidly end the agreement faster than bringing in a bad person with self-serving motives. A clear primary goal and confidence are necessary for success, no matter whose success story you most admire. That person's brain was the key factor in ensuring their success. If you took away all the resources, cash, people, factories, and equipment, Thomas Edison, Henry Ford, and Andrew Carnegie would all be able to quickly reopen for business. Because the mind is where power first and mainly originates. In other words, gathering and organizing knowledge is the first step to success. The main takeaway from this is that confidence and a clear core aim are necessary for success. Let's give a brief definition of success. According to Hill, success is the development of the power with which one can get whatever one wants in life without interfering with the rights of others. Therefore, it makes sense that success depends on having a clear principal goal. The most effective action you can do is to use your structured knowledge through organized effort, which entails forming a mastermind of coordinated partners and employees who are all working toward a specific goal. Since everything here is fairly abstract, let's look at a practical illustration. In his early 20s, Frank Winfield Woolworth, who hailed from a poor background, worked as a stock boy at a general shop in New York. But he had goals. He daydreamed about innovative and more effective ways to run a general store while performing his menial job. At some point, Woolworth decided that building a chain of his own 5 and 10-cent stores would be his primary goal. But unless he focused his thoughts and actions entirely on this one job, he wouldn't succeed. Everybody worries occasionally about failing. We worry about what people would think if we set high goals but fail to achieve them. Success, however, necessitates action, which in turn necessitates a level of self-assurance ready to commit to an idea and take action. The author is a strong proponent of using auto-suggestion to develop self-confidence. This constant infusion of encouraging words will eventually take hold and transform those unfavorable, fear-based emotions into the kind of upbeat self-confidence that can make dreams come true. You could begin by memorizing the phrase, "I know I can achieve my definite purpose, therefore I demand of myself persistent, aggressive, and continuous action toward this goal." Savings habits, as well as initiative and leadership, are necessary for success. Saving money isn't precisely one of those secrets of success that people claim to know. Saving money is something you are already aware of, but carrying it out is more difficult. The third lesson is named the habit of saving as a result. Saving money is one of the best things you can do for yourself right now. Your salary should ideally be split up as shown below. Food, clothing, and shelter ought to each receive 50% of the total. You should allocate 10% to your ongoing education. According to Hill, an additional 10% should go into entertainment and 10% should be allocated to life insurance. Your savings account receives the final 20%. There are at least 2 important reasons to begin saving money right away. The first is that you might get the funding you need to take action from this money. Therefore, if you have the resources to create a prototype or visit markets where your idea may be sold, you may already be prepared when a brilliant idea comes. Even though you might not have much, the simple act of saving will convey the proper message to investors who do have the funds you require. Woolworth, Ford, and Rockefeller lacked the capital required to launch their revolutionary company. However, because they had a history of saving a portion of their little monthly wages, their investors had enough faith in them to grant them the loans they required. The central habit of Lesson 4, initiative and leadership are another. The ability to take charge is a prerequisite for leadership. Leaders are impatient to get instructions. They must recognize and carry out the proper course of action. Procrastination, one of the biggest enemies of success, is the antithesis of the initiative. Fortunately, by forming a new habit of initiative, procrastination can be quickly overcome. Commit yourself that each day you will carry out at least one action that will help you achieve your stated primary goal. All of the teachings discussed in the previous blinks point to the fifth lesson, which is imagination. This is because imagination is defined as the capacity to arrange knowledge into original and creative systems. To succeed, you must get over your anxieties and persuade yourself to take action. If you want to achieve, you must inspire confidence, optimism, and the ability to visualize yourself achieving your goals. Enthusiasm is essential when starting a business to inspire others and persuade them to take action in support of your clear primary goal. It spreads easily. You've likely seen someone who is genuinely enthusiastic about something, and you felt drawn in. Enthusiasm can be developed through positive auto-suggestion. Just like self-confidence, the way you say things matters more than what you say in terms of spreading enthusiasm, so keep that in mind as well. In addition to wearing nicely and projecting a true love for the work you're doing, it's important to project a positive tone and body language. Instead of just sitting at home and thinking about it, action and enthusiasm are necessary. Enthusiasm is necessary for success, but it also calls for restraint. Without it, your drive and readiness to act may result in a variety of unfavorable outcomes. Many of us are afraid of being judged. Receiving critical feedback from a peer or a rival might be challenging to handle, but it's something that must be overcome. Every successful person has faced criticism at some point. Whether it was justified or not, your initial reaction after hearing criticism might be to attack the person who made it with just as much vitriol as they did. But allowing this sort of negativity to rule can be fatal. Negativity will only enter your life more when you fall for the trap and expose yourself to it. Stay cheerful, use restraint, and resist the impulse. Writing a letter to your critic is one piece of advice the author offers. To get the thoughts out of your head, write down what you want to say. Instead of sending the letter, though, shred it or store it away and use it as a permanent reminder of the strides you've made. In this relationship, you are in control when someone assaults you in front of others. They don't have any control over you, thus you have the option to forgive them. Let's now take a look at another great habit you may develop right away. Going above and beyond what you're compensated for. You're displaying value and promise to others around you by frequently going above and beyond the call of duty. Your efforts won't go unnoticed for long because of this. The world will eventually reward you if you continue to provide more service than is required and that value is recognized. This brings up how crucial it is to have a likable personality. Now, some would interpret this as a mandate to always smile, shake hands, and offer compliments. But it's not quite that easy. Genuine interest must go hand in hand with a charming personality. Let's quickly discuss another crucial lesson, which is the value of precise thought. There is a ton of information available, much of which can be annoying. Because of this, keeping your attention on what is true and truthful is one of the most crucial things you can do to succeed. Lies, gossip, hearsay, and slander. Successful people don't waste time on such unimportant things. You must be vigilant in excluding things like these that are bad. And you must continue to be committed to the successful pursuit of your clear primary goal. Collaboration and focus are two more essentials for success. Concentration, according to Hill, is more than simply maintaining focus. It's the ability to keep your mind on one subject through fixed habit and practice until you have thoroughly familiarized yourself with and mastered that subject. In other words, the road to self-mastery is paved with attention. The essential takeaway from this is that success also requires teamwork and focus. Self-reflection is a necessary component of success. You need to look yourself in the eye and identify any bad habits or prejudices that you need to let go of. Replacing negative habits with good ones is the greatest method to do so. And here is where concentration comes in. Dedication and focus are needed to establish new proactive behaviors and make auto-suggestion a daily ritual for instilling confidence and upbeat attitudes. You won't see the outcomes until you make adjustments and carry them out to completion, much like the majority of the lessons taught here. The following session will cover cooperation, which is often the most successful strategy to bring about change. Consider developing the regular practice of reading and memorizing affirmations such as, "I am going to become a powerful public speaker because this will help me to provide the world with a useful service and achieve my definite purpose." You may change yourself and your life by repeating this line until it becomes ingrained in your subconscious. This is because the beliefs in your subconscious always show up in the choices and behaviors you do daily. Your reality is that you'll never be a competent public speaker if your subconscious believes so, but you can adjust that by using auto-suggestion. Your decisions will start to guide you toward developing your public speaking skills. This is the amazing power of your conscious and subconscious minds working together. Consider any failure to be only transient and adopt a more understanding attitude. Fear of poverty and failure are two common fears that many of us have. We worry about what people will think of us if we fail in our activities, as well as the possibility of becoming broke if we follow our aspirations. Fortunately, there's one straightforward truth that can help you defeat this persistent foe: failure only lasts for a little while. Failure can be viewed by the vast majority of ambitious people as nothing more than a setback. Furthermore, failure is frequently a blessing in disguise. Failure teaches us to be more resolute and to grow stronger and wiser. So let's examine failure under the more appropriate heading of a temporary setback. Is there truly something to be terrified of in such a situation? Being successful requires, among other things, letting go of erroneous notions and unfounded opinions. Give me charge of the child until it is 12 years old, and after that, you can teach it any religion you like. I will have ingrained my religion so thoroughly in its mind that no force on earth could undo my job, declared a renowned clergyman. This remark is accurate since by the time we are teenagers, we have already formed strong opinions about everything from our political beliefs to our favorite sports teams. These prejudices, though, aren't always beneficial. Being tolerant is having an open mind about everyone, regardless of their opinions. You should avoid it at all costs. The main takeaway is that by adhering to the golden rule, you can be certain that you will continue on the path to success. History is replete with examples of people who achieved prosperity only to use it maliciously. But this was a group that frequently lost their positions of authority. Also, remember the law of attraction. Those who abuse their influence for nefarious purposes will only draw more evil and corrupting forces to them, which will only result in their demise. Acts alone aren't nearly sufficient in the author's opinion because of the law of attraction and the concepts of the master mind. Since like-minded people might be attracted by our thoughts, we ought to adopt the golden rule as our way of thinking. To put it another way, think about others as you'd wish them to think about you. In the end, the golden rule is arguably the best career guideline you could have. This is the actual story behind every success tale. Thanks for watching the video. When you made it this far, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the notification bell. See you next time.